working on today as part of showing you, the audience, the different features. So let's just quickly change back into the class that we very well need. I did some offline grinding on my main class, but it's all said and good. So if I just sell some of these items, right then. So, as part of today, we will be taking a look at these cooking recipes. So, in order to take a look at the cooking recipes, you can either do /cooking, or you can do /system, and then cooking will be the bottom middle. And these are some of the recipes that players will be able to get from mining the dungeons that they do. And if we look, some of these are fairly easy to make. The lower the rank, the easier, or the less materials and easier materials you need in order to make the recipes. So for example, if we look to aim towards making some bulwark bites, we need some cooked pork chops, some baked potatoes, and some pumpkin seeds. Well, luckily enough, around spawn we have these pigs that spawn called special pigs, and if you kill them, they give you some cooked pork chop as a food source. So instead of trying to look for them in the resource world, you can always just try your luck at finding some around spawn as they tend to spawn fairly frequently. And it's also a good way to get food in terms of if you're running low on food. Because of this, we have got the first ingredient for the bulwark bites that we are looking to make. The next part is looking for some pumpkins, which we could find in /resource, warp resource. Bearing in mind you will have to go on the hunt for some pumpkins. However, there is also the option of doing /RTP for a random TP, and it will teleport you to a random location, and if you don't like it, you can always just redo, but it does take some time, about 10 seconds at most, to refresh the /RTP. And if you are struggling to find a pumpkin, you could always ask other players that are on the server if they have any pumpkins, as the server is quite friendly. But you could also collect some of the mushrooms as well, as they could also be used in the cooking recipes. Oh, and would you look at that? We have found some pumpkins that we can use for our recipes. There's one pumpkin. We'll get a few to make a few of them. One more. So now that we've got our pumpkins, the next aim would be to find some potato seeds, which if we do /shops and have a look at the market, we can only sell potatoes, but we cannot buy them. So this means that we are going to have to go on the hunt for some villages, hopefully, to find So if we do /RTP again, all we're trying to do is find a village, but this is always a more difficult task than most people think it actually is. So we've always got to be ready to at least expect. So we're gonna try our luck. So hopefully, if I just get some of this red mushroom to help with another recipe. But if you're not as fortunate and you can't find any potatoes, then there are always bound to be some players on the server that are willing to share with new players. And luckily I had the liberty of finding some potatoes before starting the recording. So now that we've got all three of our ingredients, all it takes is just to do /cooking, but we do need to put these potatoes into the furnace to get some baked potatoes, and once this is done we'll be able to craft some of the recipes that will work. So if we do /cooking and we left click to craft 1, 2, 3, and 4. And that's ready. Now all it's going to take for us to test these is just holding down right click to use it. But all recipes give you bonus effects bulwark bites, for example, gives us the effects of resistance 1 for 300 seconds, plus 12 defense for 300 seconds, and plus 6% magic for 300 seconds. However, it does have a 450 second delay. If we do some slash cooking, if we do we could also do shop and skewer. Which is baked potatoes, which we have, cooked chickens, and some cooked beef. We can only make 3 as we only had the 3 cooked chickens. However, this would be enough just for the demonstration. The shop and skewer gives us strength 1 for 300 seconds, 16 physical damage, and plus 5 critical damage, plus 55, sorry, for critical damage for 300 seconds, with a cooldown of 450 seconds. Most recipes have a cooldown of 450 seconds, but that is the cooking features of this server. But as a treat, I think I might show you some more dungeon runs. So if I show you the mining feature in order to gain recipes. So to get onto the mining feature, you obviously do the /system, click on the dungeon tab, and then this little pickaxe will get you to the mining tab. And all these ones underneath the chest are the dungeons that you have beaten, and all the ones are your mining teams. So let's pick one of the higher ranks. So the S rank, if we click onto the S rank, we have two options: start extraction and discard clear gate. So I will click begin extraction, but for example, I could say discard, so I'll click discard, and you get two more options: cancel or confirm. I will always press confirm. Are there any if there is any other questions, please don't be scared to leave them in the comments. But to return back to the dungeons, you would press the little arrow button, and this little spyglass helps reset the dungeons. So if we head into this E-gate, I'm sure that we'll be able to do a dungeon as a treat for your benefits, to see a variety of different mobs within the lower dungeons. Hopefully, as it is purely a chance. So if we just... Sometimes you don't have to play. However, mobs do have small chances to drop the little stones that I have in my 9th hotbar slot. So, if we're just reaching the end of this dungeon now. But if you are liking this playthrough at the moment, please be sure to give the video a like and a comment. That way it shows me as the provider that you are enjoying the server. So and luckily that was all for the dungeons today as a treat, as I got through the things that I needed to for today's episode. So if you enjoyed the series and want the series to continue, please be sure to give it a like, give it a comment, share it with your friends. If not, I'll see you when I next see you in the next video. Bye bye. Take care, everybody. Bye.